Clip 1. Exclusive leaked footage and new lawsuits are making headlines. Diddy's son and Jennifer Lopez have been implicated in 2 separate lawsuits connected to Diddy, while Jay-Z is reportedly seeking to have the case against him dismissed. Meanwhile, footage of the FBI's raid on Diddy's mansion has surfaced, fueling speculation. Rumors are also circulating that Diddy's son could end up in the same prison as his father. A new lawsuit has been filed against Christian Combs, Diddy's son, alleging misconduct during a party hosted by Diddy. The accuser claims that Christian drugged her and acted inappropriately, with the incident involving a 26-year-old victim named Grace. According to the allegations, Christian pressured her to drink tequila with him and became aggressive, forcibly grabbing her arm when she attempted to leave. The troubling details of this case have sparked outrage, raising concerns about those in Diddy's inner circle.
Markey reportedly told Christian, quote, "Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that." Markey then says that she told Christian she couldn't stay with him unless it was approved by a supervisor, all of whom she knew would be asleep at the time. So this was a way for her to get out of the situation. She claims that Christian said, "Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now." Well, Markey then says she responded with, quote, "Well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing." Markey says that she tried to go back to her work, but Christian found her again, wanted her to find him a place to sleep for the night. So she ended up taking him to the cinema room for the yacht, which doubled as a place for people to sleep. And she claims that is when Christian blocked her and groped her, took off his clothes, tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. She says that she was able to fight him off until someone came in. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that Markey told the yacht captain what happened the very next day, but he didn't believe her, didn't do any sort of real investigation. She says the captain retaliated against her for months after the alleged assault, before ultimately firing her in May of 2023. Now, aside from her account, aside from a potential other witness, right, the person that allegedly walked in on this, what proof is there that this happened? Well, she reportedly has photos of the bruises that she says were caused by this event with Christian Combs. The quote was, "Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored, as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls." Holly goes on to say, "We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them." Then the attorneys for Universal Music Group, one of the defendants who are also being sued by Rodney Jones for their alleged participation and facilitation of the abuse and trafficking claimed by Jones, they argued that the claims were so, quote, offensively false that one of these attorneys, Donald Zakarin, wrote, "A license to practice law is a privilege. Mr. Blackburn, plaintiff's lawyer, has misused that license to self-promote, gratuitously, falsely, and recklessly accusing the UMG defendants of criminal behavior." So a lot of back and forth that we're seeing right here. And again, to be clear, everything that Diddy and his sons are facing are accusations. They haven't even been criminally charged. These are civil lawsuits. There has been no finding by a judge or a jury that they are liable at this point. Having said all of that, this is a very significant development, and we will see.
Allegations against Diddy's children and associates continue to surface. with new lawsuits painting a deeply troubling picture of misconduct at events associated with the music mogul. Christian Combs, Diddy's son, has been accused of inappropriate behavior at a yacht party, while another lawsuit implicates his other son, Justin Dyer Combs, in alleged illegal activities, including facilitating parties involving underage individuals. One lawsuit alleges that Justin played a role in recruiting underage attendees for parties hosted by Diddy. It also accuses him of participating in an alleged cover-up following a shooting incident outside Diddy's Chalice Studios in September 2022. According to court documents, Diddy allegedly instructed those present to mislead the police about the events of that night. Christian Combs is also facing allegations related to a yacht party in December 2022, where a victim claims inappropriate behavior facilitated by Diddy. These incidents are part of a broader pattern alleged in multiple lawsuits, accusing Diddy and his associates of spiking drinks and creating environments where such actions could occur. Further controversy surrounds allegations from the 1990s involving Jennifer Lopez. A victim named Cordella Smith has accused Diddy of inappropriate behavior in 1997, claiming Jennifer Lopez, who was dating Diddy at the time, was aware of the events but failed to intervene. The lawsuits, including one filed by producer Rodney Jones, known as Lil Rod, highlight an alleged coordinated effort by Diddy and his inner circle to exploit individuals and evade accountability. These ongoing legal battles continue to raise questions about the actions of Diddy and those in his orbit.
Throughout all these lawsuits is eerily similar. Diddy and his team would allegedly drug or spike the drinks of victims before Diddy and sometimes others sexually assaulted them. There are also allegations that Diddy forced these victims to have sex with prostitutes as he touched himself. He called these situations freak-offs, and oftentimes he recorded them. Here's where some of the allegations against his son Justin Combs come in. So all this takes us back to February, when Rodney Jones, also known as the producer Lil Rod, filed civil suit against Diddy. In his lengthy lawsuit, Lil Rod straight name drops Justin Combs, describing him as someone who solicits prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers. There's actually a picture of Justin Combs with an allegedly underage girl shown in the lawsuit. Now, in this specific instance, Lil Rod alleges at least one underage girl came to Diddy's home for a listening party. A sex worker was also apparently solicited, and a freak-off ensued. As an aside, this is the same night that Lil Rod alleges Diddy forced him to take a laced shot. He started to feel lightheaded and then woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, naked next to a sex worker. It's important to note Justin Combs is listed as a defendant on this case because, according to Lil Rod, he facilitated Diddy's alleged RICO enterprise and at times participated. Rod's civil suit points to more accusations against Justin Combs too, for his involvement in an alleged shooting cover-up. According to court documents, it happened on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Chalice Studios. Lil Rod says Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend who went by G were all there when things got heated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots ring out and later found G on the bathroom floor in the fetal position. Lil Rod says he was bleeding out of his hip and leg area. Lil Rod says he was applying pressure to G's wounds and then asked the crowd to call an ambulance. At that point, both Diddy and Justin Combs disappeared to another part of the studio. Diddy then gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So that specific allegation involves Diddy's son Justin, but another allegation and entirely separate civil lawsuit involves his other son Christian, or King Combs. Grace Omar K alleges that Christian Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, and she says it was facilitated.
Cordella Smith's recent filing brings serious allegations against Diddy, Sean Combs, and implicates Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, as a material witness. According to the filing, J-Lo, referred to by her full name Jennifer Lynn Lopez and her monikers Jenny from the Block, was in a relationship with Diddy during 1999 to 2001 and allegedly became aware of a videotape involving misconduct against Smith. The tape, reportedly recorded, distributed, and stored by Diddy and his employee Kirk Burroughs, is central to Smith's claims. Smith alleges that Lopez knew of the tape's existence and failed to inform law enforcement, even when questioned by New York Police Detective Derek Palmer. The filing indicates Smith plans to call both Lopez and Palmer as witnesses to corroborate the tape's existence and its handling. In response to Diddy's legal team's motion to dismiss the case, Smith submitted a 200-page rebuttal. The response includes legal precedents supporting his claims and outlines alleged violent and threatening behavior by Diddy to silence him and his family. Smith states he delayed reporting due to fear for his safety and argues this fear should override any concerns about the statute of limitations. He also claims that during his time in prison, he faced threats from fellow inmates and guards allegedly acting on behalf of Diddy. The lawsuit also draws attention to other high-profile individuals connected to Diddy. Jay-Z, for example, is facing allegations tied to an incident nearly 25 years ago. While his legal team is seeking dismissal on the grounds of the statute of limitations, Judge Annalisa Torres has ruled in favor of the victim, allowing the case to proceed. These developments underscore a pattern of troubling accusations against Diddy and his associates, with Smith's claims bringing additional scrutiny to his past and connections.
Back to Cardell Smith's filing. His notice says that Jennifer Lynn Lopez, a.k.a. J-Lo, a.k.a. Jenny from the Block, quote, will be called as a material witness and expert to Sean Combs' viewing, possession, and distribution of his sexual assault upon the plaintiff in 1997 and the orders of defendant Sean Combs forcing Jennifer Lopez to remain silent about the videotaped sexual assault of plaintiff by defendant. Plaintiff states that the material witness Jennifer Lynn Lopez, also known as J-Lo and Jenny from the Block, was engaged in a relationship with the defendant Sean Combs during 1999 and 2001, and that the sexual assault of the plaintiff was recorded, distributed, and held by the defendant at his New York residence and recording studio. And during the relationship with Jennifer Lopez, she was made privy to this video that was taken by Sean Combs and his employee Kirk Burrows. She, J-Lo, has known this video existed and was in existence and took no action to make it known to anyone in law enforcement, and that she was even questioned by New York Police Detective Derek Palmer about this matter, and that the report will show that her answers to this tape was and still remains a resounding yes to its existence. And again, Cardell Smith writes that he wants to call Officer Derek Palmer as a witness because he says Palmer is the one who questioned Lopez and believes that he will have testimony that could help his case. Now, as I mentioned, Diddy's legal team has called for this entire case to be thrown out. Cardell Smith has filed a massive response to that request that totaled more than 200 pages. Probably half of it was just straight up copies of case law that seems to support his arguments, word for word. It's something out of like a legal textbook. There's so much to slog through, but I kind of want to give you some of the highlights. So first, in addition to the claims of rape and a cover-up, Cardell Smith also claims and alleges that Combs was violent towards his loved ones. At times, Cardell Smith addresses alleged threats against his family. Other times, he says Combs actually caused serious injuries to his brother. His response reads, defendant used threats of murder to force the plaintiff to not bring the case to any court of law enforcement until the homes of the defendant were raided by Homeland Security, that the plaintiff knew it was a safe time to bring the case, and that is why we are here at this juncture. And Cardell Smith argued that fear for his own safety and the safety of his family is one of the main reasons that he waited so long to report the alleged rape, and says that that reason alone should override any issue with the statute of limitations, that these claims might otherwise be time barred. And he also argues that while he's been in prison, fellow inmates and prison guards have threatened him